Quotev.com is, or was, a popular writing and social media networking site aimed towards young, independent creatives. With a 13+ rating, it was perfect for teenagers and young adults looking for a creative outlook and a place to make like-minded friends. It served as a sanctuary for LGBT and neurodivergent users, as the community there was known to be very accepting. Quotev used to have many different options for activities to do. There was a social feed, where people could post their thoughts and advertise their works. You could direct message other users for private conversations. There was a group function where users could form social spaces and create well-thought-out roleplays with up to hundreds of other users. Some even used the group function as a help center for writing tips and marketing. Creators could also post quizzes, polls, stories, and shorts in the forms of journals. Quotev's admins have not always made the best decisions. For instance, they once took away the group search function, thus making it nearly impossible to search for groups to join. They also had an update that limited the number of authors that could be present per project, meaning that bigger groups could no longer work together. Infamously, in one very old update, they made it so that direct messages were made public to all users, so everyone could read what you had to say. The moderation team has also been in shambles for ages, with very little communication from the admins to the user base and a horrible report system that rarely worked. Lots of people ended up going under the radar for doing very bad things, and other people got mass reported and were instantly deleted with no actual investigation by the admins. A more recent update, however, has been notorious for being the worst decision that they have ever made. Here is what was written on the news page. A significant update has been released, consisting of many various changes. This includes the removal of some features, such as the recent activity page, as well as the upcoming removal of messages and groups on July 1st. Unfortunately, these features have become increasingly less beneficial for the main purpose of the platform over recent years and were rarely used by the majority of users. Let me pipe in for a minute and say that these were not rarely used by the majority of users. In fact, these functions were the main reason why many people were welcome on this website. We've received messages regarding several different theories on why some of these changes were made, but they were not because of any specific issue. These changes have been under development for months, and it was decided several weeks ago for them to be released on this day. Later, they would go to add, an option to download a copy of messages and group topics is available in the options menu of your messages section and group topics. Note that this was not implemented originally, meaning that they were just planning on deleting everything, essentially. After realizing that people were angry about the fact that they were being told that all of their messages and group topics would be deleted with no option to really save them, they implemented the idea a few weeks, I think, after the original update. July 1st has now clearly passed, and despite many people voicing their concerns, they did decide to go through with the update. Groups and messages are completely gone. You don't have access to the old ones, and there's no way to make any new ones. The activity feed has also been deleted, meaning that while you can still view a person's activity from their own page, you can no longer see what all of your followers have posted in one conglomerate. Essentially meaning that you're not going to get any responses or anything. It sort of functions as a blog space now, so people aren't able to see what everyone is posting at once, therefore people don't really use it anymore unless they are looking to check up on a specific user. Other functions have also been taken away, such as privacy functions. There are now parts of your profile that you can no longer hide. This includes making journals private. This is something that you used to be able to do where you could decide if journals could be seen by just your followers, just yourself, or the whole public. Now, all of them are public. You can't make the choice to put them into private spaces anymore. Other small changes have been noted, but those are the main things that have been found. So, why would Quotev's admins do this? There really isn't a significant answer, and as you've seen on the Quotev news site, they haven't really told us either. One of their excuses was that people weren't using it, but that has been clearly not true. We know that pretty much everyone used all of these features, and they were arguably some of the more popular ones. Some people have speculated that there were grooming and bullying allegations, which are founded. I know of multiple people who have been through those kinds of situations. However, we don't know if this is actually why the admins decided to take away those functions. Additionally, it would seem like having more moderation would have made much more sense, as people could definitely still be bullied and groomed on this website without the functions that they took away. Other theories include that it was related to terrorism. So, someone ended up making a joke about wanting to bomb the White House, and allegedly, police got involved with that matter. Again, though, things like this have happened on other social media websites, and they haven't taken away all of the functions, so it really doesn't make sense to do that either in this case. I think the most fitting theory, and the theory that many people are going off of, is simply that the Court of Admins don't like the way that their website was being used. Court originally started out as a quiz and story website, so they expected all of their audience members to be writers. However, a lot of people were coming onto the site to use it as a social platform. That meant that they didn't have enough publications on their website, so it's possible that they decided that they didn't want those people anymore, so they decided to shut it off completely at the expense of real authors who were using those functions as well. Unfortunately, we will likely never get the answers to those questions, because the Court of Admins do not communicate with their audience, at least not readily. Users have been understandably upset since these changes, including myself. I have been a user on Quotev since 2016, and it was a place that I felt safe, as well as a great place for showing off my creative works. Now that all social function is essentially gone, there's just no point to be on there anymore. I literally only use it for writing privately now because I don't want to adjust to a new UI. In the description, you can find a petition that was made by user Dalskin. They explain that a lot of people are upset with the changes and what changes were made. This petition has currently reached about 9,000 signatures, and the signatures are still coming, so if this is something that means a lot to you, feel free to go ahead and sign it. I have signed it as well, and hopefully Quotev will come back to its senses and actually respect its user base.